Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
What's up, folks? Here's some things we have coming up on our calendar that we hope you'll buy tickets to and come hang out with us and check these shows out. Starting on Thursday, the 30th of October, is the Crack a Smiles Halloween Sideshow, headlined by Enough's Enough, with support from Testarossa and Prowess and Permacrush. It's going to be a really fun night. You can get tickets on our website and the events tab. And then the very next night is Halloween night. We are hosting Shocktober, brought to you by Shell Shock Promotions. Big trap metal and trap rap show. $100 costume contest giveaway. We're going to have trunk or treat out in the back lot from 5 to 7, a family-friendly trunk or treat before the show, and then the show will kick off indoors at 7. It's going to be a really fun time here for Halloween. And then the very next night on the 1st, which is a Saturday, the 1st of November, we've got House of Hair coming back for the first time in over a year, playing all of your favorite 80s hair metal hits. Bona Lisa will be opening that show. Very excited to see Bona Lisa again. It's been a while since they've been here as well. And then rounding out that weekend is going to be a big weekend because on Sunday the 2nd, we are having Cottonmouth Kings and Head Trauma with King Rash and Redefine and Phase God and a whole bunch of other artists. And it's going to be a really fun time. I mean, I'm still kind of pinching myself that we got Cottonmouth Kings coming to the Rooster. That's going to be a fun time. And then further down the road, Saturday, November 8th, we've got Sugar, the System of a Down tribute, coming back to the stage. And Heathen Sun is coming up for their album release party. So what better way to celebrate the release of your album than play the show with a System of a Down tribute? It's going to be a fun night. We love both of these bands. They've both been here multiple times, so it's going to be a good time for sure. Further down the road, on Tuesday, November 11th, we have Flaw coming with Two Stroke Smoke, Pathologic, Mafia, and Die the Falling. Who cares if it's a Tuesday? It's Flaw, for crying out loud, people. And then on the 14th of November, we've got the 5th coming with our homies in Grindhouse. The 15th, that Saturday, we've got Fast Times bringing you a night of totally awesome 80s rock. And then on the 21st of November, we have Turtle Smash coming. It's a live band emo night. They're going to be playing all of your favorite hits from the emo era, and that's on the 21st of November. So that's just a few things we have coming up. If you go to our website, that's theroostergastonia.com. Click on the events tab. You can see all of our upcoming shows and events, and we hope to see you here soon at a show. Peace and love. Dedication, bro. Dedication to the craft. I like it.
That's right.
I like it.
Absolutely.
That's why we're a bunch of old guys.
Well, you're a bunch of old guys that rock. Let me tell you. Let's just start right there, man.
Thanks a lot.
I want to get into it, but first, I want everybody looking at that camera right there and introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, I'm Brad Sellers, drummer for Cronic Disorder.
I'm James Ford, guitar.
I'm Chip Whitesides, and I play with Cronic Disorder and play guitar.
Kelly Wallace, I play bass, Chronic Disorder.
And we're missing
Jason Beam, he's our vocalist.
Yeah.
He's at work.
Of course.
Yeah. We're all working stiffs, man. Yeah.
I knew you'd do
knew I'd do it.
Right on. So we're talking to Cronic Disorder, who you can see this Saturday here at the Rooster at the 7th Annual Carolina Headbangers Ball. I'm excited. Did you guys watch last week's episode?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I tried to show you guys some love. I mean every word I said, man.
Yes, sir.
I am so glad y'all agreed to do this. You belong on the Headbangers Ball.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Yeah,
We believe that too.
Hey, I know it's a struggle, man. We didn't, with Brad's situation earlier in the year, we've because we've been wanting to get back in here and play, and the Rooster. I mean, you've asked me a couple times, like, man, we can't right now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm understanding. Like, I get it. I'm in the same boat as you guys. Family, health, all this other stuff that we have in our lives that we juggle with. But boy, is it fun when you guys do play here.
Yeah. Well, we're the type of band, we absolutely refuse to play a live show unless we're all 100% and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And we just won't do it,
Well, it's smart. I mean, you have a brand.
Yeah.
No lie, when Chronic Disorder comes to town, people show up.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
sir.
do.
People are expecting a show. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about a little bit about how Chronic Disorder got started. And if you want, give the people a little bit of history about what you did before you guys all came together.
Okay.
Yeah, so this band actually formed in around 1990. It started with me and Chip. We formed a cover tune band right out of high school. And we were playing anything from Guns N' Roses to old Metallica stuff. And the guys we were playing with at the time, they weren't really into the heavy stuff like Chip and I were.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of got away from these guys, started finding some new members, and then some guys come along that they like the same style we do. And so that around that time is when Cronic Disorder formed. And we started writing originals that were heavier than, say, your normal radio rock.
Yeah.
Is what we
I
were
mean, you're
after,
talking about
you know.
90s, so kind of alternative rock was kind of dominating the airways back then.
Yeah, and then grunge came along,
Grunge.
and we were like, we're not into that either. We're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Death metal was also a budding genre at the time, and
was,
it
yeah.
was an influence on us.
Yeah, it was all thrash in the 80s, man. Then it kind of turned into glam.
Yeah.
And then, like, Pantera came along and was like, oh, you can do that?
And
Absolutely.
we always felt like Pantera saved metal at the time.
Kind of.
you know.
They kind of did. It was a big
Yeah,
transition.
Yeah.
They was carrying the flag for sure.
Yeah. What about the rest of you? How long have you been in Chronic Disorder? Like, what was your path here?
Well, they kind of scouted me out
Absolutely.
when a cover tune band I was in at the time, they would come to practice and hang out. And around that time, that band broke up, and it just so happened that it made a way for me to come into Chronic Disorder.
And it wasn't an audition. When this guy showed up, we were like, "Hey, do you want to play with us?" I mean, there was
You
no
already
auditioning
knew
anybody.
he was the
We
guy for
already
the
knew
job.
him, yeah. And we all went to high school together. We knew
Yeah.
everybody's families, and we all lived within 5 miles from each other, so it was easy for everybody to be at practice, and it just made sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was the guy.
And you have your heart in heavy music too.
Oh yeah, I was on the same page as all these guys. I was listening to Kiss at a young age, and that led to heavier things. And then glam metal came around, and then in 1988, Injustice for All came out, and that was it for me.
Yeah, and Justice for All it's that I go back and forth between that and Ride the Lightning. They're kind of like my two favorite Metallica albums.
Right. Yeah.
No shade
Same.
on any of the other albums. It's just those are kind of, when you think about Metallica, that's how I remember them.
Same.
Yeah.
Always.
In my opinion, Justice is the greatest album by anyone ever of all time.
Yeah. And I'll skip Master of Puppets sometimes from Ride the Lightning.
Not
Yeah.
me,
to
not me,
Injustice.
man.
And I
Master
still love Master of Puppets, but I find myself gravitated towards that old Metallica,
Yeah.
that sound. And when everybody was on point, even Lars, I mean, at the time, he was at his peak, and that's the Lars that I love. And
Yeah.
it was one of my major influences.
I don't think it's fair the amount of crap he's taken over the years
No,
from like
he shouldn't.
magazines and like media. People are real quick to like dump on Lars. I'm like, he kind of created a brand new style of
Yeah,
drumming.
absolutely.
And you're going to dump on him for that? That's
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't like to hear it. I've never bashed on him.
he doesn't make it easy. He kind of makes it easy for him with the way he comes off sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll give you that much, media.
Yeah.
But still,
There's no other drummer that would fit in that band like he does.
No.
That I feel would fit with that band.
And you
No
take-
matter if he got a little lazy or older. I mean, I'm older now. I can't play some of the stuff that I played in 1990. I mean, it would take a minute to get back there, but it would hurt. So,
Yeah.
but you notice a lot of these older bands that are still playing thrash metal and death metal, they almost always have a younger drummer. Because it's just the way it is, man. It's
On the
very
flip
physical.
side, I can downpick faster now than I ever have.
What about you guys? We're talking about influences. What made you fall in love with heavy music?
Oh man, AC/DC and Kiss, man. I grew up on that, and like I said, then that was then then the Metallica come along, boom, and then of course Slayer. You got to throw them guys in the mix.
Slayer.
Megadeth too, man. I mean, that's just basically my influences and stuff. And then you get more into like Jamie was talking about the early '90s with the death metal scene. Man, I was big into Morbid Angel, and actually we played with Nile a lot back in the day. We got their first show in our little small town of Cherville. We brought them in. And we toured a lot with them back in the day, and before they got big and all.
Played a lot of shows with Nile.
Yeah, played a lot of shows with these guys. They were good.
Well, every time we played in South Carolina, they gave us that show. We returned the favor and got them in Charlotte.
That's what it was back in the day, man. I mean,
I encourage bands all the time to do that.
Yes.
I talk to bands all the time about that and about showing up to other, like, if you're not playing that night, go to a show and network and, you know.
dude, that's what it's about. And when I told you, and I kicked myself in the butt for not doing this at the Judas Priest show, and that's another thing I was talking about on the Judas Priest night. I was wanting to try to get Cronic Disorder written up for Plush that night, but Priest was in town and we'd already booked it. But I was going to hit you up. Hey man, we'd like to open up because I like them girls. Them girls are a good band. But
they were very fantastic. They were very
when I was telling you at night when I come down here the other week, and I wished I went old school and just printed up a bunch of old flyers. Remember I was telling you, I said I was at a metal show. Why didn't I do that? And because back in the day, that's what you did. That's the way you networked. You know, you'd go to shows and just paste them everywhere, or I'd just go to the front, and just throw them all over the ground everywhere. Everywhere you know.
I'd be so mad at you.
Yeah, I know you would.
You know, the days of stapling the telephone poles is over, so you got to get a little more creative, you know.
You got to get that face-to-face interaction.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
does work.
Well, get to know people, you know, like the guys from Two Stroke Smoke. I've
Did you
never
have a
met
stroke
those guys,
saying
but we're like,
you messed it up again.
I'm too stoked to talk about Two-Stroke Smoke. And, it's like now I've met them and they're like, hey, let's do some shows together. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
sure.
I mean, it's networking.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's why I like to, and I know I don't get here as often as I want to, man, because I love coming here and checking out what you got going on. But most of the time I'm out of town working, and some of the weeks, you know, I'm like, I try to get there on Thursday after practice sometimes if I can. But sometimes I'll shoot in here and have a few beers.
Well, it always puts a smile on my face when you pop in. Like,
Me too,
I
man.
always love seeing you guys, and you know, it's any like local artists that come and support like another show.
Yeah,
It always
absolutely.
makes me really happy to see it.
Absolutely.
That's really what I was going for here, was like a place for artists to like come together. And
But when you opened up, it took me a little bit to get here, and me and Jason, we started coming a lot right when you first opened up, and was like, man, and we weren't quite ready to start playing out again. What, about 3 years ago? So, and I told these guys, I was like, man, we got to get. I talked to Mike about playing the Rooster. I said, we got to get in there, and so once we did, it's we got.
I'm glad you did.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you did. You know,
Man,
we
you
had
got
a
a great
lot
thing
of
going
fun
on,
at
man.
that Ironside show.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good. Lord, that was a good night.
Yes.
And there was so many other musicians here, man. That's what I like to see. I like
Yes.
to see the other musicians watching other bands.
Yes,
you
man,
know,
that's what it's about.
And it's like, man, you've really done something when you draw other musicians out that want to see what you're doing. You know?
It encourages you to play better, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny because every time I start like feeling, you know, down or like things we're just not hitting, like it's so up and down. It's like there's no formula, there's no pattern. Like we have good months, we have bad months, and then when we have those bad months, right when I start feeling some kind of way about it, somebody always comes along and talks to me about how much they appreciate the place or how much they
Absolutely.
love we do this and that, and it's like. Then you're just reminded why you do it, and you just kind of keep pushing. You know, it's
Yep.
Right,
because it's you know
absolutely.
it's not always easy. You know, you have a bad month, and you start falling behind on something. You're like, oh boy, what am I going to do?
Yes. I know exactly. Well,
So,
yeah.
this band started in 1990-ish and progressed. Actually, I brought some stuff for you to look at.
Yeah, hold
if
it
you
up
wanna
for the
zoom in
camera.
on the
Oh,
camera
show
on
and
that.
tell.
Hold it
That
up for
was
the camera here.
one of
where
our
they can see
drunken,
it.
disorderly. This is like the first 4-track recording and 8-track recordings bundled into one. It doesn't sound great, but it shows you where we started, where we ended up, and eventually put out the Dead to
5
the
years
World
of alcohol
CD.
abuse. Love it.
And that's what we progressed into. And the
Look at all
style
them young
changed a
handsome
little.
men. Look at them handsome men.
Yeah. And this was more. We were like more leaning towards the punk hardcore turned into metal.
Yeah.
Because, you have to get good at playing metal. Obviously, and that's how we got there. you know, and eventually got signed to a record label, Mighty Music out of Copenhagen, Denmark, and they relabeled the CD. These are the same songs on both of these. And they relabeled it, they didn't want us to change the name, but they changed it to Torture Test. And that's what got distributed in Europe. And it kind of fizzled out because, you think you're going to go here, and then all of a sudden, if you can't produce what they're asking you to produce and something happens, then they're like, well, okay, we're just going to shit can you. We'll move on to somebody else. And that's why it's so hard. And a lot of younger guys don't understand. They're like, hey, we're getting signed. Well, yeah, you are for right now, but can you produce for the long haul?
Yeah.
Life has a way of happening to you.
It does, yeah. And then,
it's true.
people have kids, get married, you move on, things, and your musical taste may change some, and you might not like what you were doing with this band, and, you do something different. But, leading up to all that, we had a great 8, almost 10 years of gaining fans, friends. I mean, the friends I've made and the connections I've made doing this is I would have never got to go the places I've been or met the people that I've met if I wasn't playing in a band. And the metal crowd are the coolest, nicest people you'll ever meet. They might look a little scary sometimes, but they're not, man.
What you just said right there, that last part, gets said so much.
Yeah.
I stand by that. I do.
Yeah.
There is a brotherhood, and we've got people that follow us around still now.
Well, you know what it is? It's like, this is going to sound so bad.
Didn't say it.
We're all the anti-establishment, anti-corporate people
Outcasts.
with that have decent, that have IQ above 90. It's a proven like metal fans are some of the smartest people. There's a correlation there with like the patterns in metal music with like classical music. There's a lot there's a lot of these studies out there that talk about how close metal fans are to like your academic elite stuff. It's just different lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a different life choices, different lifestyle. And that's why, I think personally, you need like a certain level of intelligence to have that kind of compassion and empathy for people that we all share in the metal community. Like very rare, you've got your assholes. Don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. But percentage-wise, it's a lot less.
It is a lot less.
Percentage-wise, it's a lot less than you think.
Well, you'd be like, effing Slayer. Oh, a kitty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
we all love
the way
cats.
metal fans are.
You know what? That is very true.
We all love cats.
I do too.
Some of the biggest, burliest metal dudes are like, I love kitties.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a little cheweener at home that I carry around.
You got a cheweener?
I don't have a big Doberman sitting out with a spike collar on, trying to look like a badass, because I know I'm not. I'm just a musician, man.
So, how long has it been since y'all went on the road, and talk a little bit about some of the places you got to see. Talk a little, flex a little bit about where music got to take you.
One of the coolest shows we ever got to play was we played a Halloween show at this place called Zeppelin's in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
That was a great time.
Yes, it was.
Partied on Bourbon Street till the sun came up.
Some of the guys from Acid Bath were out there, man, hanging out and stuff. Yeah, it was
hung
really
out with
cool
Acid
time.
Bath and met some really cool people on Bourbon Street. Stayed there for 3 days. And,
it was wild. It was a very
Can you
good time.
imagine Halloween on Bourbon
It
Street?
was wild.
Yeah, oh my God! It was
way
better
before
than
Katrina
Mardi Gras.
hit. So
That's what all the locals told us. It was way better on Halloween.
well, that's
Best
another
mixed
thing.
drink I ever had in my life. It was called a hand grenade.
A hand
We were selling them
grenade,
right on
yeah.
the street.
Nice.
Incredible.
But go back to networking. Back to the old, not the old days, but the days back whenever you didn't have the internet. We didn't have the internet back then, not really. And so you'd write letters and, snail mail. And, we hooked up with the band Abuse, and they're the one that brought us down. And what was really cool is we show up, we talked on the phone and everything. And once we got to New Orleans, they brought us in, come in, and they had a full course meal of food for us, set out, a place to stay. I mean, it's just, they take care of people. I mean, it was really cool. But back then, you wrote bands or getting back of Metal Maniacs. Hey, man, these guys look cool. Send them a CD or a tape or whatever you had. Then you say, hey, you want to trade some shows out? And then we'd do our thing. And that's just the way we, network back
We
then.
actually had a P.O. box back then that we would check regularly and
Every
have
day or
mail
every
from
week, man. It'd be
fans
full.
from other states.
Post office guys hated me, man, because I'd have stacks of mail and all kind of stuff. It's like, here's
That's awesome. I mean,
It really
you
is.
really got to live the rock star experience. Yeah,
did, yeah.
Where else did y'all get to go? I'm curious, like how far out y'all got to travel.
Milwaukee,
What was the name of the
Wisconsin.
band we played with in Ohio?
I can't remember the name of the band, but we played a couple shows in Ohio, and it
Disarray?
was one of the bigger metal bands up there. And what was the name of the club? It was a pretty average sized club.
It was right there on Columbus, Ohio, right there on
Yeah.
Ohio State University, right there.
and the crowd turned their back on us.
Yeah, they did.
They turned around and faced the other way because we weren't from Ohio. We're from North
Yes.
Carolina.
Crazy.
And they're looking at
Yes.
us like, oh, there's a bunch of redneck hicks coming up here. They can't play shit.
a
Probably what they
very
were
Ohio
thinking.
thing.
And by the second or third song, we had one in the crowd, and they were all
Yep.
up.
Oh, that had
decked
to feel
out.
good.
Yeah, it did.
Well,
It was great. It was a great feeling to go win the Ohio crowd.
yeah,
That's so
well,
weird.
And
I would struggle with like appreciating that. I mean, like, I'll be honest. I'd have been like, oh yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. But you know, we were always the type. It didn't matter where we went. If we went and played a lame show where there were 5 people there, we still put on the same show
Yep,
as if
absolutely.
we were playing for 5,000 people.
I get that,
You
but they
know?
turned their backs. That's just.
Yeah,
you
And
gotta
we
win-
said
you gotta
we're
win
going
the
to win
crowd,
these
man.
guys, man.
I don't care.
We're going
That
to
was a
win 'em.
challenge.
yes, it's the challenges.
That's cool. Though. I
That
mean,
was a
that's the
challenge,
right. That's the correct response. That
Yeah.
is to.
And you know, I don't
Not
hear of a
ours.
lot of that kind of stuff happening
I'm
anymore.
petty.
You know, from anybody, but you know, maybe people were just rude back then. I don't know, but they did act like they didn't care that we were there or not.
We actually got to, and what's a really cool story is went to Milwaukee Metal Fest. Mr. Sellers over here jumps up on
Yeah.
stage.
He's
and
got
the Meshuggah's like their first time in America. And y'all know Meshuggah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, anyway, their first show in America, Brad, just Thomas Hockey, favorite drummer, he goes up and jumps up on the stage and gives him a Chronic Disorder shirt. Well, the next week, Metal Maniacs comes out. He's wearing our Chronic Disorder shirt on the front cover of Metal Maniacs.
And we've got proof.
I know I got the magazine. It's really cool, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, we couldn't
But
believe
we hung
it,
out with
man. I was like,
Meshuggah,
yeah, dude.
man, Piston Ragers. I mean, I think King Diamond played that night, or
He did.
Yeah, King Diamond played. It was like man, just really cool stuff
No,
like
it was
that.
Merciful Fate.
Merciful
that's right,
Fate. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Dang. Y'all did a lot of cool stuff before I came along.
I risked
Are
my
you
life to
feeling
get that
left
shirt
out?
to him,
I'm like,
man.
Hey.
I didn't
Yeah,
know
you
all that.
did.
We got to open for
I fought through
Testament
security
once.
and
That was a
everything
good
else and
show.
jumped a huge barricade to get up there and lay that shirt on his bass drum. And I actually gave him a CD too. Don't know if he ever listened to it, but I hope he did. But he actually put the shirt on and got a promo pic taken with it.
That's
It was
awesome.
awesome,
That's
man.
really cool. It was totally worth it then, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was,
absolutely.
yeah. I didn't care if I got my ass beat or not. You know, I was like, dude's gonna get a shirt. You know, that was when Destroy Your Race Improved came out, and that was one of my favorite albums because of his drumming. And I was like, by God, this guy's getting a shirt.
Yeah.
I don't care what it takes, man.
Do you have any stories about being like at a show or like seeing a band that just kind of blew you away before they got famous, or maybe they never did get famous, and just a band that blew you away that you were like, whoa.
We never got to play with Pantera, but they were so small at the time. We missed the opportunities because other bands that were a little more ahead of us got to play with Pantera. And we saw Pantera at Plum Crazies in Charlotte when they were on Cowboys from Hell tour, and got to stand right there in front of them, talk to them in the crowd. Dimebag Darrell is at the door greeting us as we come in, shaking hands with him. And that's one of the only bands I remember that really blew up that we got to meet before
course,
they were
Nile really
before
blew up.
anybody knew them, you know.
Yeah.
And cause Nile was our friends, you know. We
Yeah.
already knew them. We'd played with them. But Pantera, I'm like, man, this dude's standing at the door greeting people as we come in. And then the next thing you know, a couple years later, they're just huge.
I hate that I never got to see Pantera before.
Oh, wow,
I'm
really?
like, yeah.
We got to see them on the small stages, just like if they were playing at what was it, Cadillacs in Hickory?
Yeah.
When they played with Prong,
Dude.
and Phil Anselmo's standing right beside of me,
heard Prong
Man,
and
forever.
I'm looking over like I think that's Phil Anselmo.
Well, dude, they went with like 60
Tap him
people
on
at
the
that show.
shoulder, you know.
I mean, it wasn't really. It was like on a Tuesday night, and like it was Prong, Pantera, and Mind Over 4, and like I say, Phil Anselmo had a hoodie on. He was all sitting there. So there's lead singer Pantera, but there was like 60 people. That's all that showed up that night. But man, we got to stand right there, and man, the Dimebag and all of us really very down to earth, cool guys.
I had a similar experience. My wife and I went to see All That Remains, which
wow.
you know they're not Pantera,
Right,
but
no.
they're one of my favorites from that
Yeah,
era.
man.
Yeah.
Probably my very favorite from that
Cool.
that whole early 2000s metalcore stuff. Them and Parkway Drive, but I got to see we went to the neighborhood theater in Charlotte to see, and we were. I mean, it's all that remains. So like we were expecting a huge crowd. Well, there might have been 50 or so people there.
Yeah.
And Christy and I stood right in front of Ollie like the whole night. And it felt like he was just giving us a show. He could see that we were super engaged with what he was doing.
That's awesome,
and he was just, I mean, he was doing his thing, but it kind of felt real intimate,
cool.
you know, right there.
Yeah, man.
And we had a great time. And God, that was such a cool experience. But they didn't like hang out and shake hands with anybody. They kind of disappeared when their set was over. But like a month later is when Ollie passed.
Oh man.
And it was like, wow, we had this amazing, incredible experience, and now he's gone. Like
Wow.
that sucked, you know.
Yeah,
it was
man,
terrible.
yeah.
And then about 6 months later, you know, the guitar tech that Ollie took on the road and took his place, and he's an amazing guitarist in his own right. But they were still touring because they were promoting the album they just put out, and they were at the Fillmore this time. And I went. I think they were there with like Megadeth, maybe. This is them and Megadeth, somebody else. But when they came out, like after like the first song, Phil, the singer for All That Remains, kind of took a moment to introduce the new guitar player, and like the whole place was just chanting Ollie, 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 you know, and awesome. It was a real emotional moment, man. Like the whole crowd was there, like we were all feeling it because this only a couple of months had passed, and the guitar player he didn't try to steal the show. He didn't he just played the songs and played them well, and there was just this vibe in the room. Like this feel in the room of just love, you know.
Oh, wow,
everybody
nice.
was missing Ollie that night, but he did a really good job of like tributing him it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. Great. But I never got to see Pantera, and like now if I'm going to see him, it's really not even Pantera anymore.
Right.
You know? I did see a lot of Vinny play for Hell Yeah.
For Hell Yeah.
I saw them a bunch of times.
I never get to see that.
Yeah, and I mean, I got one of his drumsticks at my
Wow,
house.
nice.
Yeah, I went to Amos's. My wife and I went with some friends to Amos's to see him, and I got it in my head before the show. I'm not kidding. In my head before the show, I'm going to get a drumstick tonight. Like I told myself that before. I told my wife that. I said I'm getting a drumstick tonight, and she's like, yeah, all right. So we're at the show, and if you've ever seen Vinny play drums, he really plays he is hell on sticks.
Yeah.
And so he's like pieces of wood are just flying all over the place, and he got this one. He's got it gassed up pretty good, and I saw him kind of look at it like he was done with it, and he reared back, and it was slow motion. It was slow motion. Like I said, I planted that seed, and when I saw him take his hand back, I said, "This is mine," and he threw it, and I jumped up in the air and smacked it down as hard as I could, and just started elbowing and grabbed that stick off the ground. And I looked at my wife, and she was like, he did it. I was like,
That's funny.
And I think sitting we've got a little area in our house where we've got all our souvenirs from shows and stuff, and that's where that drum.
She's like, "Stop it! You're acting like a dummy. Quit it. You're fanboying, man."
I was. I mean,
I would have done the same thing.
You had a mission and you completed it.
Yeah, I did. I was so happy.
I bet so.
I also have the Flaming Lips Alley street sign for Amos because when they downsized and they were getting rid of all their gear. Flaming Lips is one of my very favorite bands of all time. Okay. So every time I went in there, I always noticed because it was always right up at the top, you couldn't get to it or whatever. So I made sure I got that. So I got that one little piece of Amos's.
Hey, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
But anyways, let's talk a little bit about the Headbangers Ball, man. You guys excited? I mean, I did kind of call you out and say y'all said y'all didn't want to go on last.
Man, I laugh like
well,
crazy.
so our thing is our crowd is older. And if
Be considerate.
If you're going to play at 11 o'clock, most of your crowd's going to be like, "Oh man, come on, really?" And it's not that we don't want to headline, and we don't mind playing late because we're all warriors, man.
But you want your people to
we'll
enjoy
drink
it.
with the best of them, and we'll stay up, and we'll
play anytime, anywhere
for the duration,
Yeah.
But it's out of respect for a lot of our fans that a lot of our fans are grandparents and have kids, and a lot of people work on weekends like James does, and our vocalist Jason. And we feel like if we come in and we're going to play at a reasonable time, that we're going to draw more of a crowd, which in turn is better for the club, better for you, better for us all the way around.
It also kind of planted a seed for me to like put together a set time, graphic to put out there so people kind of knew when bands would be going on. Because it is a long day, and not everybody wants to be here for 8 hours.
Well, that's right.
So I get that. Yeah. But so we, me and AJ, we collaborated a little bit on how to run the show. We wanted to kind of group the Aussie tribute and costume contest. Like we wanted to group all that together. So we had to go back and forth about how that was going to play out. Yeah. And so it's out there. You can go to all of our social media and see the set times. You can come see Cronic when you see him. And, well, the good news is after your set, there's going to be time to hang out and drink some beers.
Absolutely.
And we always encourage people to come for the whole show. We don't say, hey, we're playing at so-and-so, be here to see us. We just say, hey, sometimes we don't even tell people when we're playing. We're like, hey, you get here at 5 o'clock, you're going to have a chance of seeing us play. So they can catch some other bands too,
Yeah.
We don't put ourselves on the pedestal where you come at this time, you'll see us and screw everybody else. We don't operate that
all
way.
the time I get phone calls at the club or I get emails here at the club, and they'll be like, what time does this band go on?
Really?
And my response is always the same. Show starts at 8.
Show starts at 8. There you go.
7:30.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
get here and support the other bands.
Absolutely.
But no, I totally get we're starting to, my wife and I are starting to get to a point where like when we go to shows, we're not above leaving a little bit early if we're kind of like, if we go to a show on a Tuesday night, chances are we're not making it past 11.
Right.
Right.
We both got to get up early. So,
5 o'clock comes early, man.
I usually, and typically we always stay to the end of the show. But here and there, like I said, a midweek show, sometimes we're like,
That's right.
all right, we need to get out of here.
Well, like I said in the pre-show, I was going to try to get here and see Plush, man, and I couldn't get out of the parking lot. I'm sitting there in all the crowd, and I was like, I'm never going to make it to the Rooster in time. And I don't know what time they were going on, but I was going to try to get by here. And I didn't get out of the parking lot. The show ended about 11. Dude, by 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was done.
Yeah. Well, you did miss a good show. It was a good show, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to bring them back. Those girls were amazing.
I bet
they were very, very entertaining.
It was nice to have some female energy back there.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah, you're not going to
Thank you
get a lot
very
of
much.
that this Saturday.
No.
Yeah, it is
it's all
definitely a stacked lineup.
Oh, man.
For sure. Yeah, I gushed.
Most of them, so it's
Yeah,
all
I
good.
gushed about it on last week's episode of the podcast about how excited I am for all
Yes.
these bands, and
Yep.
it is by far one of the. For me, I'm really proud of the lineup.
I am too. I think it's great.
AJ and I collaborated on about half of that, and then the rest was all him.
Yeah.
I could tell that like. I don't know. He's busy now because he's working. So like he was kind of struggling with like figuring it out, and I was like, I lobbied for half these bands on this bill, and I'm so glad that you guys were all about it.
We got to open for Overkill earlier this year, and also on that bill was Razor Grave, and I'm looking forward to seeing
How
Razor
good
Grave.
are those guys?
Razor Grave's great.
Did you watch
man.
them at that show?
Oh, yeah,
Holy
man.
sweet.
Oh,
Talk
we've been
about
friends with those guys for a long time.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
all know each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's another thing. The third annual Headbangers Ball thing was in that y'all was talking about in the backyard. That's where I met Razor Grave for the first time. Me and Sean locked up because we're both Death Angel fans, and me and him just kind of bonded together. And them guys are really cool guys. Him and Drew and Ian, all of them are really good guys, man. Witch Pit's too, another good friend of mine. I talked to Thomas quite a bit. Well, man, like I say, we try to hang out with all the guys, man. All the bands. There's a couple of bands I got to see
They
yet.
were called Neverfall.
Yeah.
When I played in another band.
Yeah, that's when I met him.
That's how we go back. But
Yeah, they you mentioned Witch Pit. That's another one. I'm super excited. Like they
looking
happened
forward
to
to
be
playing
on a
with those
bill
guys,
for
too.
like a tour that came through
Right,
here.
exactly.
And like I knew of them. I hadn't seen them and saw them. Was like
Thomas
They're
was sending me
great
pictures
live,
while he
man.
was here. I was because I was in Atlanta, and he's like, "You gonna be able to make it?" I said, "Man, I'm working. I'm working in Atlanta." He's like, "Well, here." I said, "What's the show look like?" And he's standing back there and he's taking pictures of the bar, seeing you back there. I said, "Tell Mike I said what's up." But no, me and him kind of talk quite a bit and stuff. But we've been trying to play with them guys some, man, and they're really good guys. Everybody, I mean, I'm looking forward to some of the bands I haven't seen. And I can't wait to meet some of these guys. I love it. I love
if you've
it.
never seen Hellfire 76,
No, I have not.
you're going to love them.
I've heard so
Great.
many good things.
I
about
have
that
too,
band.
man.
You're going to love them. I mean, one of my favorites, man. Like, they're so good live.
Man, that's great.
They're
I
my
can't
favorite
wait.
too. They get off the stage super fast.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing too. Out of respect, I've seen drummers try to tear down their whole kit on stage.
Oh man, that's
And that is the biggest no-no. You don't do that, man. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I know.
If you have to get 4 other people to help you get your shit off stage, get off.
Bring help.
Let the other band get their time.
Yeah.
It's just disrespectful to
I
to
can
do
say
that,
Mike,
you know?
he can break down his drum kit super fast without any help, and it's fantastic.
that's awesome.
And I always have people ahead of time. I make the phone calls, the text, or whatever. Hey, we're playing so and so. Can you be here? Are you going to be here? If not, I'm going to find the people that are going to help me grab that shit and get off stage as fast as I
Exactly.
can.
I mean,
Yeah.
as far as members, we all try to. As soon as I get my guitar stuff up, I'm helping him, or whatever we have to do.
That's rare.
I mean, yeah,
It is-
It's rare. You don't see a lot of bands
Yeah.
where they're helping the
You got to,
drummer
man.
out.
I know it sucks.
Oh, these guys are willing to help me anytime.
Yeah.
And I've played in a band before where like, that's what you signed up for. I'm like, well, that's a shitty attitude.
That's a
man.
terrible attitude.
Yeah, man, we're a band. We got to
can't
get it
do this
done,
shit
man.
without
We
me.
gotta-
Gotta do it.
Hey,
It's
too.
a business.
Do you know
I'm
how
the
many
engine behind this
singers
thing,
that
man.
I had to constantly fuss at? Oh, you carried your microphone off the stage.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Get up there.
You might get a blister on your finger.
That's funny. But
Yeah,
another one, Haymaker. Yeah, them guys.
definitely Haymaker.
Haymaker's good, man.
They're all right.
Yeah, big, yeah.
They're all right.
Big
They're all
homies.
right.
Yeah.
Big
That
homies.
dang Josh guy, I don't know about him.
I have to make sure I got plenty of White Claw.
Yeah.
Oh
Make sure I
man.
got plenty of
Yes,
White
they
Claw.
trees.
Yo, they do.
They will. They have wiped us out of White Claw.
They have.
Have
They
really?
have.
They have.
That's awesome. Awesome. We used to be called we used to come out years ago. We'd come out. We're the drunkest band in the world.
One time in the
I think I should
90s, we were opening for Nile at a club, and it was New Year's Eve in South Carolina, and we drank the bar dry of wild turkey. We
Yes.
drank every drop they had.
They had
Dang.
So I think I've heard stories like this throughout the years, and one of my favorites is I was watching an interview with Zach Wilde, and he was talking about. Well, first of all, he talked about how he got in Ozzy's band to begin with before Black Label, and I mean, I guess it's out there, so it's okay to say, but he was Ozzy's steroid dealer at the time. He was selling steroids, and then Randy Rhoads passed. He steps in, and then he talks about how he started Black Label Society, and he was talking about the early days, how they would tour around the country, and he said more than once at their shows the crowd would drink the bar out of beer, like completely out of beer.
Oh wow.
And it was like it didn't just happen one time; it happened several times. I'm like,
Nice.
please come play my club.
I'm going to piggyback off that and tell you a great story of how we started this thing in Charlotte when we finally busted into the Charlotte scene, which was for the outsiders like us. We're from, like they say, Cherville,
Turtle.
Yeah, you're from Cherville.
a Cherryville band or Shelby or anywhere else. When you went into the Charlotte scene, you had to earn your keep.
That's right. Absolutely.
And there was a lot of guys, and bands and fans that if you weren't from Charlotte, then you probably weren't that good. That was their attitude in the 90s.
It was a big deal to get on
It
the
was.
show.
It was
really
a
was.
big deal for an outsider to get into a Charlotte club like Rockies.
Some of them still, like that.
Yeah.
And one of our things, we'd go put on the best show possible. We practiced 3 times a week back then, and we were tight as shit, and we were going to put on the best show ever. And I got this idea one night at Jeremiah's. I don't know if y'all have ever heard
I
of
remember
Jeremiah's.
it, but I was too young to
One
experience
of
it.
the damn best places to play. It
Awesome.
wasn't that big, but it packed people in there.
Yep.
And I got this bright idea one night. I'm going to go steal all the napkins off of the bar and anything I can find to write on. And I wrote Chronic Disorder Party Room 2 whatever.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about this.
At Motel 6 or whatever, and we laid those things everywhere. We pinned them up on the wall with tacks. I was putting them in girls' pocketbooks, and next thing you know, we go to the hotel room. The club had beat us there.
Man,
And they're all
dude.
waiting, hey, man, where's the party? And we started doing this everywhere we went. And we got dubbed the drunkest band in the world because when you came to see a Chronic Disorder show,
partied.
you were not only getting your ass kicked while we were on stage, you were getting your ass drunk when you came back to the hotel room.
This is Haymaker in the future.
Yeah.
Old
You're
Haymaker.
100% right.
I'm 100% right on that.
The similarities are eerie.
It
like,
is
this
really
yeah.
eerie.
Dude, we carried around a beer funnel for years, where we would go, hey, party in 213, and everybody'd show up after the club.
We
And it
had
was
like this-
You wake up the next morning and people are passed out, and you don't even know them. You're like kicking them, hey, you got to get up.
So many
It was
times.
good times,
Yeah,
man.
so many times. We like that, just like this little brown Chevrolet tour bus or a little van. We called it the Cronic tour bus. There's so many times people would challenge to drink. I said, a lot of guys said, man, you don't want to get in that van because you're not going to come out. And man, we'd always have a fifth of wild turkey. And I had this one guy one night, and he's, oh man, I can drink with y'all. So I think we played Jeremiah's, and the next night we played a metal festival with North Carolina.
Yeah, in Wilson.
And so we're on the way down, and he said, I'm going to ride with him. I'm going to ride with Cronic. Mistake. So he ended up,
Is that the dude that puked in the dryer?
he puked in our fan mail. We had like all our box of shirts and fan mail, all the stuff, and it was in the back of the thing and our little merch. He pukes in all of our stuff, man. I'm like, come on, man. But he was challenged to drink, so unfortunately
handle it, could
he
he?
lost.
Not many people could. They would usually lose because we had such a tolerance built
I
up,
know,
man.
because
We've been
from
doing
a small
it for
town, we didn't have
years.
nothing to do but play music and drink, so that's what we did.
That's what we did.
You were really good at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Motel
really funny when
parties
people
were the best.
underestimate you.
Yeah, oh yeah, it is really.
There was nothing like a Chronic Disorder motel party, man.
Yeah, oh I know.
And the cops would come just about every time. And we'd go in the room. They'd tell us to shut up, be quiet. We'd go in the room, and it'd be like 35 people in here like this. And as soon as they get down the road, we were like, okay, turn the music back up. Let's start drinking again.
Man, crazy.
But it was
man.
fun.
Yeah.
It's funny. Your stories are bringing back memories for me, like house parties in the 90s
man,
and stuff
wow.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
They could probably do a two-parter episode too.
I kind of feel like it's harder for young people to get down like that these days. Like,
It is.
We
It
could
really
get away
is.
with a lot more back then.
Yes.
I feel
It's
like-
too
There was
uptight.
evidence of everything.
It really
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
You didn't have camera phones and video
That's
phones.
the
and
thing,
stuff,
man. Thank God.
I'm
Tim's
glad.
like, oh,
No, we had video. I used
Oh,
to
my
carry a video
God.
camera. I used to film every show. I've got
Yeah.
I
documents.
love how you did this. I used to carry the
Carry
video
the-
camera.
Yeah,
Not this one. It was the big one.
the one you mount on your shoulder.
Yeah.
We both had video cameras. We still got a lot of old footage. That's on, what is it, Super 8? Or 8
Yeah, a little 8
or
millimeter.
something?
all we need's a producer and a director and a
Man, I'm gonna tell
Chronic
you,
Disorder
some of them might need to be
documentary.
Yeah.
buried
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah,
a probably
yeah.
You want to
incriminating.
bury 'em? What's
No.
on them, Chip?
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of incriminating stuff.
Remember those old VHS tapes that like Kiss would put out with like all their behind the scenes on tour
Yeah.
stuff? My uncle was a huge Kiss fan.
Oh, man, me
and
too.
he had all those like videotapes. So like, we're past the.
I've seen them.
There was like one where like Gene Simmons was like eating this chick out.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, wow.
It was,
Wow.
it was wild. Wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
And mind you, I'm like 9 years old. And my uncle's like, check this out. I'm like, whoa.
Man, that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, he was the coolest guy on the planet. He let me watch these videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how many people Kiss influence. Like so many people we get in here talk about how Kiss was a big influence on them.
Yeah, I mean,
I was too young at the time to appreciate it, you know. But like looking back and like seeing how big they were, and like looking around at all these artists that are artists because of bands like Kiss,
Yeah.
it's
So it made me a musician for real. I mean, I was jumping around on the bed with a tennis racket, acting like Ace Frehley when I was 7.
Why does every Ace
You know?
Frehley fan, when they remember something, they say, I was jumping around on the bed with the Ace Frehley mask on and my underwear. I've heard that story.
And I'd be in there with a tennis racket with bandanas tied around it and in there, you know, playing Shock Me and I wanted to be a guitar player, but you know, every one of my friends and everybody I knew was a guitar player, and that's how I ended up
It's a
picking
little
up
different.
drums.
I used to run around neck and act like Gene
got to be
Simmons.
Peter.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, I got to be a Peter. I was like, I want to be a Peter. Yeah, you know, the first time you hear, I think it's in 100,000 years, the Peter Criss
drum
solo, and it's like, man, you know, I gravitated towards wanting to play drums because I'm like, well, who's going to play drums if I don't? Everybody I know is a guitar player, you know, and Chip was already ahead of me learning how to play guitar. And
Is that a nice way of saying you're the only one in the band that had any money?
No, okay, so,
Man.
so actually, I had to borrow my first drum kit from a church drummer that was one
Yep.
of my best friends when I
Yep.
was 13.
Yep.
And my mom and dad refused to buy me a set of drums. And my dad even told me, "Why don't you play guitar so you got a volume knob? We don't have to hear all that crap." I was like, "Well, man, I really like the drums better, you know." And he just wouldn't buy them for me. So my best friend was a church drummer. And he lived a quarter-mile up the road from my house, so I'd go up there, tap around on his drums. He finally got tired of playing drums and said, "Well, just take them home with you." I was like, "Okay, I got a free set of drums." So I'm sitting in my bedroom playing the Kiss, and actually the first song I learned all the way through was Pencil Thin Mustache by Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah.
If you've ever
Right.
heard any
Yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
Buffett.
A long time
Yeah.
since I've heard that
Yeah.
song, but yeah.
And
That's
so
interesting.
a couple of years later, he ended up moving back to Virginia, and his name's Doug Chappell. I'm going to call him out, and I hope he watches this because he is the reason that I got half-ass good at playing drums because he let me borrow his kit.
No.
And still couldn't get my parents to buy me a set of drums, so I got my first job, and my mom signed for me to finance my first set of Tama double bass drum kit.
Right on, dude.
Yeah.
Reliable
And let
music.
I was gonna ask, did
reliable
your-
music
Pretty
in
cool.
Charlotte? Yes.
I was gonna ask, did your
Reliable.
dad ever come around and like appreciate?
He did.
Yeah, he said
Later on-
you made him proud, so to speak.
Yeah. Later on, he said, "Son, if I would have known that you were going to stick with it, I would have bought you those drums." I was like,
That
"Well,
is
you
the
can
fear
go
as a
ahead and give
parent.
me."
You have to understand it now, right? Like you
Yeah.
get it now, right?
I was like, "Well, you can go ahead and give
Yeah.
me some money now towards something
yeah.
else if you want."
I get
And he
it.
did. You know, he
Because
did.
I wanted to be a drummer, and my parents were like, "As clumsy as you are." And earlier today, I've already, yeah. They're like,
She fell on her way coming in the door. She fell.
Oh, no.
"Yeah,
You all right?
yeah, I'm good."
Can you do this?
Yeah,
Oh, then you can play drums.
I know. But the thing is they were like, "No, you're too clumsy. We'll have to replace way too many heads." And
That was just an
That-
excuse to not shell out the money.
Yeah, that part.
Trust me,
Yeah.
as a parent, it's like when your kid
is.
starts
I
taking an
get it.
interest in
I get
something,
it.
it's like, how expensive is this going to be
That's
before
exactly
we get
right.
behind
then
it?
they were like, "No, here's a flute. You can be like Jethro Tull."
Well, you know, you are a glutton for punishment if you play drums as long as I have. I mean, you got to love it because it's a lot of work. It's
Yeah.
a lot of loading.
You still
and
got
unloading.
that set? That
Gotta
first
love
set you
spending
bought?
money.
The set that I bought, I actually sold about 10 years ago because they were just so old. All the hardware was worn out, and you couldn't find parts for them anymore. They do it just like vehicles. You know,
Yeah.
you got to get rid of them,
Well,
trash them.
my uncle, my other uncle, not the Kiss fan, the other uncle, it's funny. One uncle was a diehard Kiss fan, the other was a diehard Rush fan.
Oh, wow.
And that was always the argument, right?
Right,
That was
yeah.
always the
Kiss.
argument. It was like Rush or Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my uncle that was a big Rush fan, he still has his set of 1979 Black Pearl double
Oh,
bass
wow.
drums.
Nice.
yeah,
They're,
wow.
I mean, to this day, they're still beautiful, right?
Right.
But they are worn out as
Yeah.
shit.
Well, my kit was on the road for the better part of 15, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
In and out of vans and on stages, and shit just gets wore out, man. You know, and if you're a drummer that has a kit, an old kit at home that didn't travel, yeah, you can keep that kit for 40, 50 years and
Yeah.
they don't wear out. You know,
can say one of the
traveling
most-
kit will.
One of the most interesting vintage put together kits I've seen is they had like the acrylic see-through shells.
Yeah.
And
This
they
is nice.
just bought like different pieces when they found them. So it's just a hodgepodge of color and it looks like Christmas candy.
Yeah.
Because they got one that actually looks like it's got the
Right,
stripes
right.
on it. I'm like, this is so pretty. They got like a neon orange one, a striped
Nice.
one. I cannot remember. They played here and I don't
Did
remember
really?
who it
And you can
was.
put lights in them and
Yeah.
stuff. You know, that's badass. Yeah.
Awesome.
I like colors.
All right, so we're gonna wrap it up soon. But before we do, I want you to tell people why they should come, what to expect from a Chronic Disorder set at the 7th Annual Headbangers Ball this Saturday.
Well,
Heavy, tight,
Probably one
grooving.
of the tightest shows that we're going to play since I got back from surgery.
Yeah.
We practiced our asses off.
You're going to shake your booty, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
yeah.
We haven't given any love to your singer, and mainly because he's not here. But he is. I mean, his voice has held up
Yeah.
so well. That was probably the most impressive thing about when y'all were here with Ironside. One of the that really, I was like, man, then he gets into it, man. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
He's got range.
yeah.
He does. He does.
And I just want to give him a little bit of love because
Sure.
he wasn't here. We didn't get to
Yeah.
talk to him a lot. But man, oh man,
That's hard to
you got
do.
a great
Yeah.
you got a. I mean, especially like at our age too, like
Yes.
to be able to still sound that good.
He's got range that it's like I can't stand to hear a band that just screams all the time. It's not my thing. It never has been. But he can sing and he can scream.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
Jason Beam is our singer. And when he comes over to the studio to lay down tracks, I mean, he gets in there and he takes care of business. The last song that we did, it was an hour flat. He had everything done, multiple takes, and it just
It's incredible. We got
That's awesome.
we got a.
You know how fortunate you are, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you do realize, like it's
we all
hard
are.
to
We're
find a guy
blessed.
that can sing like
It is.
that.
It
It's,
is.
you know,
He
I
just
feel
comes in and
fortunate
nails
just
it.
to have the musicians to play with.
Yeah, I mean, all of us, man. I mean,
You
dude,
know?
it's a blessing because I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have the like we used to practice 3 or 4 days a week, but now it's coming out. Everybody's working everything. We get one in, a week. So I mean, we have to really, we have to work, to get to make it happen. And a lot of people don't understand that. I know some of the guys that are younger bands and stuff need to realize, when you get a little bit older, and you have to got responsibilities, you got jobs and everything else that, you can't practice 3 or 4 days a week. You got other priorities going on. So, we really, have to work hard at what we do.
well, you don't need to make excuses for anything because you're going to sound amazing. Like no one's going to be able to tell.
Yeah.
If it's anything like the last time you were here, it's
gonna be better.
it's
Man, dude,
it's gonna be better.
we're going
That's-
to probably break out 2 new songs. So
Yeah.
we got a new EP. Well, we
You're
got
going to be impressed.
Yeah, we got
Put
to.
it that way.
Right on.
Because we have worked our asses off really since I got back from surgery. The first call I made 6 weeks after surgery, I called James because I know James is the more ready one to be at practice because of Chip working in Atlanta. I said, James, come down and work on some double bass rudiments with me so I can get these feet working again.
Yep.
One practice, then Chip shows up, we're playing the set, man.
Yep.
It was
Right.
just like that.
That's
healed
why I
up in
called
8
Mike. That's when
weeks,
I hit Mike up. Let's do it.
I am always down to make music. And when he called, I was like, yep.
And this is our studio guy. He is our what is your job title now?
Producer,
engineer.
He's the producer,
Engineer.
He has all the equipment. So we're kind of low budget, man. We do everything on our own. We have our own record label, our own
Yep.
company. Everything we do is independent.
Well, we've learned from
And,
experiences, but when getting signed and stuff
Is that
like
an invitation for young bands to come record, or can they not afford you?
Well,
He was like,
I'm devoting all my time to chronic disorder at
Right
this
on.
point. Who knows what will happen in the future?
hey,
Right.
it turns into something like that eventually, though.
It could,
I
yeah.
mean, it could, yeah.
Awesome.
But
Well,
right now, we're worried about us, and we spend a lot of money. And if you buy merchandise from Chronic Disorder, you're going to get a Gildan 500 T-shirt that the neck's not going to go crazy the first time you wash it. You're going to get a good recording quality. You're going to get some koozies, and then we're going to probably make women's underwear. Who knows?
Right.
But we're going to make some good stuff, man.
Right on.
So when you buy something from us, you're going to get the best of the best, and
Yes.
you're going to get the best show out of us, and because we're going to practice our asses off for it. And we may even rent a hotel room for this show.
you gonna pass out now?
hey, I love that idea.
Check to see if there's an address on your napkin.
Now, if everybody wakes up and I'm not there, I had to go home. So
Awesome. Well, this episode has been brought to you by Chipworks in Atlanta. So I'm pretty sure I said that about 16 times.
Oh man.
Go ahead. So we'll close on the album cover.
Yep.
First, let me say thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you,
I
man.
couldn't be more excited for you guys to be playing and at the 7th Annual Carolina Headbangers Ball. That's this Saturday, the 25th. The doors open at 1 o'clock. The music kicks off at 2. We're going to have a flatbed out back. We're going to be going back and forth, inside and out,
Yeah.
leading up to the costume
find a PA?
contest. We got it taken care of. And then we'll have the costume contest. There's going to be an Ozzy tribute, and then you're going to get to see Chronic Disorder live, Haymaker, Witch Pit, Hellfire 76. It's going to be a great time.
Man,
We
it's
got a
awesome.
food truck out back. So get your tickets online, save a few bucks, and come see us this Saturday, the 7th Annual Carolina Headbangers Ball. Show them the album cover. We'll zoom in on that too.
no excuses.
You guys
should
need to
be
come
here.
out for chronic disorder now, and everybody else. We will make you back crack, you leave your quiver, and bamboozle you goozle.
Also,
That's a lot.
Awesome.
The new album by Chronic Disorder, simply
Resurgence.
titled Resurgence, because this is exactly what we've done with this band. We resurrected this band from the dead, and it's actually a tribute to some of our fallen band members. Jody Gibson, rest in peace. Edward Cousins, rest in peace, and James Sane, rest in peace. And their names are on the back of the album. The album is there. There's the cover.
The first 100 pieces are limited to a fancy pants orange.
Ooh, I gotta get.
Fancy pants.
That's nice.
You gotta let me get one of those.
That's
things.
nice.
I'll
Let
pay
me
for
show
it.
you something even cooler than that. We even captured our antics
There's some pictures
on the inside, so
Oh,
you've got some
you
cool
said
pictures.
antiques, not antiques.
Antics.
Got the lyrics on the
Yeah,
back.
minus the hotel room stuff.
Yeah, you had to cut that out.
Yeah, you couldn't put that in there. But this is what you get from Chronic Disorder. You're getting quality stuff, man. You know,
Right on.
and you get quality music, and you get quality people at the same time. I love these guys, man.
Absolutely.
Damn right.
And also, we brought you something to maybe.
Oh, shoot.
Here you go. We signed this.
Look at this.
One of Brad's symbols.
Oh,
You owe me $2.99 for that.
This will make its way on the wall eventually. I've got a whole bunch of
Cool,
stuff that
yeah.
I need to get
Yeah.
on the
Awesome.
Put it
walls.
wherever you want, brother.
Yeah,
It's
thank,
yours.
Thank you, man.
Put it in
Thanks
your
a lot,
office, in your
fellas.
house, up above your ceiling in your bedroom. You know, whatever.
This is
you
cool.
want to do.
Hang it from the ceiling, please.
There you go.
There you go.
Make a hat out of it.
Thanks a lot, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate
get a
it.
set of
thank you very
drums and
much.
use it.
Peace and love, y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.